Now Israel is reportedly urging China to use its economic and political sway to pressure Iran, help further rein in Iran's nuclear ambition. We are seeing reports that influence is due to China's Beijing, China being Iran's largest oil consumer, purchasing 90% of its crude exports. Gordon, I spoke with President Trump about this as well the other day and questioned why it is that he's even allowing China to continue to buy Iran's oil. And he said, look, we're watching to see how Iran behaves. And if they behave like a normal, a normal player, then we'll leave it alone and they can buy the oil. Here's the president with me last week. Watch this. You waived the sanctions on the oil with regard to China. So you're allowing China to still buy the oil from Iran.
No, I didn't say that. We have the sanctions on. And if they do a job and if they can be peaceful and if they can show us they're not going to do any more harm, I would take the sanctions off and the sanctions would make a big difference. We use sanctions. You use them very carefully. You know, sanctions cost us a lot of money. It's not just, gee, we're going to put sanctions on. When you do sanctions, it costs a lot of money. But I would, one of the things I was thinking about doing, you start waiving them for countries like if they behave themselves like Iran, where they can sell oil and they can do the things that you want to be able to do. The sanctions are very powerful and it makes it difficult. I'm not looking to make it difficult. I want them to have a good life, but they were trying to develop a bomb. And the reason you try and develop a bomb like that is to use it.
Gordon, your reaction. President Trump says is looking quite practical in all of this.
Yes, well, the one thing we've got to remember is that Iran is close to building nuclear devices because China gave them almost everything they needed to do that, either directly or indirectly through the Dr. Qadeer Khan nuclear black market ring. So this is a war that China made almost inevitable. And we need to take that into account when we think about the oil passing through the Strait of Hormuz. So China is a combatant in the war. We have to recognize that. And, you know, on oil sanctions, they're relevant to the Ukraine war because the January 10th Treasury Department sanctions on the Russian dark fleet are really important. If those were enforced, there would really be very little money for Russia to prosecute the war in Ukraine. So we should not only enforce them, but we should extend them. And if we do that, we can maybe end the war in Ukraine without firing a shot. Yeah, we got to do this quickly because Russia's grinding down Ukraine very fast.